My name is Gaitán Valencia Jesus Mario.
Hello there. You know me, I'm Lelius Jimenez Alondra.
Hello, my name is Francisco Eduardo Rimas Montaño.
I'm Héctor Javier González Martínez.
My name is Juan Carlos García Ávila.
History of textures. At the beginning of the 20th century, the artistic movement took a different course in its creation process, in which it experimented with new materials and procedures different from the traditional ones. That was when texture emerged. It took on a relevant role as an element, a configurator of the image, which gives a greater visual load to the project. Artistic movements such as Informalism, Post-Impressionism, and later Expressionism were movements that give a special importance to the treatment of tactile and visual textures. In this is where the textures takes a greater role. In these artistic movements, the work of the artistic within these treats is too different with the different techniques and supports, as well as the use of the materials not typical of painting, to create new artistic contexts or even new treats that lend to artists to experiment with designs and textures. In the current era, these movements have been retaken over time and have been included in new artistic designs, giving rise to the texture to regain greater importance, especially when applied to various works and visual designs.
Texture characteristic. The texture of the paint is one that gives shape and volume to different types of artistic creations captured on a canvas or paper. There can be several scales and types to classify the texture, such as life, lines, and the way in which the painting is expressed, among others. Texture is classified into tactile and visual texture. Tactile is what is perceived through the senses of touch, and visual is what we can perceive with our eyes. It is a part of the language of painting in the senses of the character of the discourse. It starts with the texture of the canvas itself, the quality of the thread, the number of these weaved in order to achieve a desired texture.
Ink technique. Hey there, friends! Oh, well, this time is the ink technique time. Well, let's know about that. One of the fastest, simple, and easiest technique to draw. But there are just two ways to apply it, physics and chemical way. In this case, physics, the challenge is to draw a mandala and fill it. Well, let's start with some points or analyze the drawing. First, you need to delineate, line art, or trace a line over the drawing. Most of us know that. Fill your space with different types of lines, curves, shapes, etc. Once it's covered up, it's time to paint or fill the blank spaces. If you've noticed in the drawing, some or most of the lines give to the dog a fur texture, or sometimes if you put the curved lines, like the V letter, can give the scale and rough texture like a reptile. For the shadows or shades, you need to place lots of ink or reduce space between lines or dots, in the inner ear case. but if you want a really dark shade, you need to apply it directly. But calm down. Have fun, relax, and try new shades, lines, or shapes. This technique isn't just for the types of this drawing, like mandala. Maybe you use in comics, but be creative and original. Oh, and don't forget to sign it.
Referring about the techniques of making textures, for me, the Chinese ink is the one that best fits to the subject so far. Especially, it's the same in its physical form. I like that it's novel, simple, and easy to apply. You can achieve very realistic textures just by resembling your drawing as is with some object. For example, if I want to represent the textures of any object, all I need is to follow the lines of it as is, use the object as a sketch, and represent it as realistically as possible. Thanks to different pictures that I made, and especially to a simple book, it was easier for me to understand the subject as is the concept and the application. It was also my pleasure to resemble not only objects, but also animals. For me, it was nice to represent animals with mandalas.
I like texture since they are very easy to apply, since they can be made up of lines or geometric figures.
What I like the most about the textures and ease of application, along with the various patterns and even movements that can be created throughout the textures, and in addition to the fact that these provide a greater visual to the words that are applied, and all of the different designs that can be created to represent an image or a feeling.
Well, and one of my favorite technique is ink technique. Well, it's the easiest, fastest, and simple way to draw. I love how the Kimi way it's used, because it's like foggy and rocky way you can make in those paints. It's so generous to apply that. Also the physics, it's like to the drawings it gives a retro look or a retro way. For example, in some comics I prefer without colors, just lines. Well, the ink technique is one of the ancient techniques you can see on Chinese paints or Japanese. Maybe I think I like it because of the views they used to paint, or the ways about branches. Have you seen the branches about the paints, like red leaves or pink flowers? Well, there are cherry flowers. But I think it's the view about the foggy. Maybe you can do a mirror reflection about just in the Kimi way, because it's too light, a too light layer of ink when you do it on water. I think that's the way, because I like it and it's so simple. Maybe it's just one color, but I like that technique. It's so simple and generous. Bye bye.